Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Animal Allies, and today, we be building. And redstoning. So I have kind of gotten away in building during episodes. I start off with time lapses of builds I've done in between because there's not really a lot to show in the process. However, maybe dedicating an episode, I can show you a bit more of what I do to get stuff together. Now I'm going to start with our beacon because we got that in the last episode. So it's going to go up here. And I usually design everything in a creative world and then put it together over here, but actually this one I am completely doing from scratch. So we'll see how this goes. So the whole entire area has kind of become like an overgrown-ish vibe. So I'm going to keep that and do like some stone hedge overgrown areas and see what I can pull off. Now this episode is going to be a lot of time lapses, but I have the intention of taking you more behind the scenes, so we're just going to get into our first time lapse. Okay, so that's the beacon done. I actually think it looked quite nice. If I wanted to make it less imposing than it was, because I wanted this mound here, but I didn't want it to be really bulky or tall, and I still wanted to see the beacon out of it, so I had to use a lot of slabs, which meant exposed iron, and I don't mind it. I could have used stairs in some places to hide more of the iron, but it's pretty okay. And then I used moss carpets a lot, just as a additional graduation down, like gradual decline from some of the other slabs and stuff, just as a little addition. But I think these kind of look cool. There's little, like, spire plinth something or another, and they're all dilapidated. Whatever. Broken down. Falling apart. And I had to do this one just a bit closer because of the cliff here in the dog house. But I think because I made it really small, I did that intentionally to be less imposing. It doesn't really show up as like out of place because these are each 2 blocks apart from the beacon itself. I'm not sure if what material you use matters, but as of right now I have more diamonds than I do iron, so because I just used a lot of it to build the beacon. So I'm gonna shove a diamond in there to do, I believe, a speed. I don't know. I don't need anything else because I don't do a lot of mining in this direct area, and mostly this is just for a decorative purpose and a way to get home easier rather than actually using it where I would use haste. So we've got speed in the area now. But that is our first build of today. The other things I want to do are over in the industrial district. I'm just going to grab a crap ton of my redstone and head over there. Okay, so we've got 2 contraptions that I plan on building. I ended up getting rid of my pumpkin farm because I built one underneath the farmer's house. That I'll have to show you that later. So the automatic pumpkin farm is completely gone. So I have one to replace that, and then another one that won't fit in the train. So I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I also did this cactus farm at some point, which I think I was planning on doing in a different train car that is bigger, but I don't this will probably actually move at some point. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is the other train car here, which is going to be a honeycomb farm. Because I have a lot of copper I need to use in doing the aesthetics of this place. And I'm gonna need to wax a lot of it. So we're gonna start with that. I have no beehives. That's gonna be a whole different thing to collect. I know there's one along the river over there that I can go steal. And I think I might have the one in the trees over here because I was trying to get more of those as well. I think I see one. Hopefully there is some bees in it. Maybe not. But I do have extras from when I collected them for the smaller farm, free range farm I have up there. So we'll see what we can do. But first, let's build this farm. Okay, so I unfortunately paused the recording at one point when I went to sleep and then never started. So I don't know when that time lapse ended, but we've got like the basic structure of everything down. The only problem is I don't have enough bees. So the current goal is we have 3 with bees in them. I've put these slabs down, one in hopes of the bees not escaping while I breed them, and hopefully once I get more bees in there. Ooh, the baby bee can probably exit, but it's looking okay. And hopefully that should technically work. And as soon as that's done, that we start populating this area, then I'll replace this with glass so we can see it better. But that is our next one done. It is a bit wider than this one. The problem is there's not a lot of compact redstone contraptions. The next thing we'll be doing alongside breeding bees is a moss farm. Now, I have been using moss quite a bit around the space, obviously. The start of this video, we used a bunch of it, and I don't have a lot. I usually go down in a hole, that hole, and like mine it quite a bit. But I kind of want just a space to automatically connect it, like turn it on, collect a bunch, and then turn it off. So the next thing we're doing is that farm. Where am I going to put it? I don't know because it's bigger than one of the train cars that I'm doing. So we'll have to see where it should go. Real quick, before I get into that, I was collecting materials for the thing. I do want to show you this pumpkin and melon farm that I've got going, and it's working pretty well. I unfortunately did not set up an auto crafter for the melons. I was at that point, by the time I started getting it all the way up here, I was done and wasn't going to do anything anymore. So first, let's go into free cam so we can see this situation down here automatically triggers and pushes it through the floor to a feed of hoppers that goes into a dropper that automatically triggers into a different hopper that automatically triggers into a water column that feeds into a dropper. Again, feed tape that goes like all the way up. There's 3 different dispensers that goes all the way into this chest right here. It's super inconvenient, but it works, and I don't really care. So, that's why I got rid of the pumpkin farm. Now, let's go build this moss farm. I'm not going to make you go through another time lapse because it's not needed anyway. I'm going to be linking the tutorials in the description. So I'll see you when I finish this up. Okay, it is done, and I now have a working moss farm. I just have to turn this on. And it starts working! And it's automatically refilled too. By the bone meal. These 3 hoppers collect moss to put in composters to make bone meal for this. And then extra overflow over here gets put into these chests. Yay! Oh, this is so nice. Mainly because I need a bunch of moss carpets. I have been using a ridiculous amount, mostly because I've been using them to light up the area. So, you're free to do it. And then, basically, there's a stone generator back here that actively generates and then pushes the stone out, which compresses the moss and pops it up. And then there's a dropper that's collecting these bone meals that it's activated. I don't know. Basically, it works and that's what matters. I need to decide. Oh my god. There's a whole thing. This iron farm isn't completely spawn proof, obviously. Oh, I haven't. Okay, so I updated to 1.21.10. I don't know if I told you guys that. So we have all the copper variant stuff. I didn't wax these because they didn't need to be waxed, but now they do. Whoopsies. So that's gonna have to be done, but good thing I now have... Oh, I did not mean to leave that on. Whoopsies. Anyway, how'd you get over here? Let me grab... Actually? Oh, why are you not connected? Oh! I did something different than the video. He had a lot more storage in his video, and I did not need that. So I only did 2 of these chests, and one of the hoppers wasn't connected. Okay. Anyway, I need the moss carpet because something else I found. You can cover up redstone. Okay, so this has to be open. But you can cover up redstone with carpet, so it doesn't look suspicious. I mean, it looks suspicious, but it's pretty hidden, which is which is really cool. Anyway, so most of this is entirely functional. No. Now it's time to decide what build am I going to take you with me to design in my creative worlds, because that's what I've decided to do. Here are the builds that we need to plan out. This mineshaft. This has already been planned out, I just haven't done it. Truly, I need to just commit to it, but it's so many materials. We've got now the moss farm and the train car. Because my intention is, oh, do I want to? I think I might make one train car and then maybe add a little bit of detailing of what farm it is. So like this might have some honey blocks or something, or honeycomb type of detailing. But for the most part, I want each of them to be, I want to be them uniform and modular, if that makes any sense. So, I think we're going to be building a train today. So, this is how... I don't have a stick. I do this completely off camera, but I'm going to walk you with me today as I need rendering on. There we go. Take a schematic of the redstone. I should, honestly, probably should sleep, but it's fine. Hopefully, creepers are just the worst of it. So, this will be the casing, and then there's going to be a 2-point juncture. So this is a wall, this is a wall. So I want to collect here. Okay, there, area selection. Okay, so this section is selected. I then go to the area editor, save schematic, just sugar cane farm. This will be deleted later, so I spelled that all wrong. It's fine. And that's done. I can clean this up, and then we leave this world and go into a different one. And this is where all the magic happens. Now, I can't show you everything because there is some secretive stuff. I will have to blur out some of what's being shown. Let me get out of the way. But this is my build templates world, where I build in creative what I want in my survival world. So now we're gonna load up that schematic. Okay, so now that this is basically rebuilt, I can unload the schematic and we have our base to build the shell around. Now this is the juncture point. I'm going to put, first clear my inventory, and then I'm going to put a wall there so I remember that that's a juncture point. And then we go to Pinterest. I always use a reference for my builds. Usually they're obviously not exacts, and if they are super close to somebody else's build, you'll always see them linked in the description. I want to keep the train car separate, and then I'll do a front engine car at some point. So first I'm going to lay down what I want for the rails to look like, and this is gonna be expensive. We can change it later. So this is gonna look so good, and then I'm not gonna want to replace it later because I don't have that efficient of an iron farm to do something like this. But we'll see. I also don't know what kind of block palette. Let's decide a block palette. Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at my other buildings that you can't see. I'll be right back. Okay, we're gonna try something and we'll see how it looks. We are struggling. I'm still a little bit stuck on exactly what to do. But for now, I know that I want the base to be deep slate. So we'll replace what we can. Okay, so I got a good base. I am fairly happy with how this looks. The only issue I am having, I'm not completely happy with it. Part of it is I think because one, it's a little stubby. So it's a little almost too short for a normal train car, but that's okay, that's whatever. But it's also the fact that the wheels aren't right, but I can't do them how I want to do them unless I remove these trapdoors down here. And then I would also have to move everything. It would almost be too wide for the track, I think. Well, I can make the track bigger, actually. That's always an option. So I could get rid of... basically move everything over one. And then I have to do for the other side of the rail. But let's see how that looks. Not awful. The big issue is I think I want... I don't know what I want. Let me look at frickin' train wheels. What do I... I could do the fence without the button. And then do the same sign thing. Sign. That I did previously with the acacia. Nope. Okay. I don't hate. I'm not like the biggest fan, but I don't hate. That's a lot of what this is, by the way. And then it's compromised because you give up on trying to make it look better. Oh. Okay, if we want to go really deep into it, I could, there's the option of adding hashes. Because it kind of outlines the mechanism that pulls the wheels. If that is the idea in my brain. But I don't know if it works like that. So if I do that, and then do this, it can mimic like pulling at the wheels. Did not mean to do that. Okay, it gets really dodgy. How does it look from far away? Oh, I kind of like that effect. I don't know. Is it worth it? Once it's a lot of... I think I'm committing. I kind of like that. Okay, now we have to do the other side. Okay, we've got our first train car. I need a stick. Again. Block again. Okay, so make sure everything is encased in the box that I make. One more up. Area selection. There we go. So, this time I'll remember to delete the pillars before I save it. And then, nope. Area editor, save schematic. Let me sugar cane or let me specify green car. And now we go back to animal allies. Now this is where I take the stick back out again and place down our new schematic. And then we've got it placed in the right location. We can see what all of the resources we need. So we need all of this. I can now go back to the house, let myself sleep, and collect all the materials. And we can get building our first train car. And she's finished. Look at her. Genuinely, this is one of the first things I think I did besides the creeper farm, so it's so good to see it, like, pretty. Of course, it's dark. I have, like, 0 inventory space. I only did the sugarcane farm. I think that is where I'm gonna stop today, actually. We did quite a bit. I'm oxidizing even more copper because I'll need more for the honeybee thing. But I am genuinely so proud. I wanted to show, like, my process because I know I don't show it often, obviously. Like, I don't think I've showed my creative world at all. I've mentioned it before. But, so I wanted to show you a little peek into how I plan things out for an episode when I can get one out. Anyway, I think that's gonna be their end here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.